Hey everyone, welcome to another video. For all of your Brisbane International Film Festival content, please consider clicking that subscribe button because today I'm going to be talking about what I think will become a modern horror cult classic, and that is Late Night with the Devil. So let's get into it. So firstly, just getting into this screening, this was a very anticipated premiere at the Brisbane International Film Festival. We had both the directors there at the screening for a Q&A afterwards. We got to ask some questions. We got a little bit more insight as to their inspiration behind all of the stylistic choices behind the film. And it was just really great. It was the perfect film to watch. As this was a Halloween screening. I'm a little bit late on this review, but we saw it at Halloween, and what a movie to watch on that day. So this film follows David Dastmalchian as a talk show host in the 70s. His show's in a massive decline, and he's trying to find really exciting ideas to boost the ratings and get a really exciting show going so he can get all of the fame and all of the money. This character is really obsessed with those elements, and they play a very important factor in this film. The directors mentioned in the Q&A that the talk show host is loosely based on Don Lane and his mannerisms and some of the things that he would pull during his shows. This was well before my time, so I'm not too familiar with him, but there's still a lot to compare in terms of a Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, modern day late night hosts. It's very similar. And he absolutely kills him. You know, he's had all of these very exciting supporting roles where he's a standout, but he doesn't really get anything meaty in terms of a role, which is a shame because he's a fantastic actor. The big break he got was with the Suicide Squad as the polka dot man, but even that was a supporting role. This is a fully fledged lead role where he is dominating the screen. It follows him basically the entire way through. It's a very meaty performance, and he delivers every step of the way. This role was made for him. It will go down for me as his best performance. And the first thing, apart from the performance, that is really noticeable are the stylistic choices. That's what the bulk of the questions at the Q&A were from the audience, so I believe that was the big impression that everyone got as well, because they stand out. It feels like a talk show from the 70s. And then it cuts to a commercial break and it's all black and white. And it does some really crazy stuff with the aspect ratio and color and filter. It is all fantastic. The directors also mentioned that their cinematographer, Matthew Temple, had worked on ABC in the past with these shows. So he brought his expertise when shooting all of these scenes. They had 3 cameras going simultaneously, and they just used fantastic editing to cut towards the best shots and make it feel authentic, and it really does capture that. But really the big thing that surprised me is that this is one of the best horror films of the year. I had thought Talk to Me was untouchable this year. I didn't think anything in the horror genre was going to top that. This comes really close. That is the kind of level of quality we're looking at here. The stylistic choices, the performances. The film is so interesting the entire way through and just does some incredibly unique things while also taking inspiration from a lot of horror films from this time period. The film also does an excellent job of not taking itself too seriously, and that's what makes it even more enjoyable, especially on Halloween. It has a sense of fun to it that makes it so rewatchable. There is a recurring joke that pops up after some real intense moments, some real confronting moments for these characters. And instead of undercutting it, the humor actually gives us the levity that we need during these scenes. It was really perfectly placed, and the fact that it keeps recurring just makes the joke funnier and funnier. But really going into the meat of this film now, this has a number of things that seem real supernatural, but then you're not really buying it, and then it progresses and progresses and progresses, and it feels like this descent into madness and into horror as we meet this character that is said to be possessed by a demon. We also have a skeptic who does not believe a single thing on this, and I think that is really great in terms of providing this argument and this real life skepticism that exists in terms of demon possession and the supernatural phenomena that we have today. And what makes it so entertaining is that he just does not want to sway from this opinion at all. There is nothing that will convince him that there isn't some kind of setup to make us believe that this possession is real. He doesn't believe it at all. And it's just a really interesting dynamic. And the way that this argument progresses just goes more and more insane until it just goes completely batshit. And I love that about this. And you would think that those black and white moments in the commercial break would take away from the film, but they don't. Because it goes to a really intense point. You still get chaos. When it goes black and white, we're in the commercial break. We're hearing all of this news and all of these new updates with these characters that make it more and more stressful for our protagonist. And what makes this a very confronting experience for him, but he keeps pushing on. This character is not really a good person, and we kind of start to really understand that as the film progresses. It's more than just a fake talk show host. There's something real sinister going on here, and I really, really enjoyed that investigation into this character. It always keeps you guessing. This film is not predictable at all. As I said, it goes completely batshit in ways that you just aren't expecting at all. And the way that it not only presents its narrative through its writing, but through editing and cinematography on both ends of the film, in the beginning and the end, was utterly brilliant, and I absolutely adored everything it did here. It was outstanding work. The only missed opportunity that I saw was that in terms of the possession and the demon that we may have here, we just don't quite see enough of it in my eyes. There is enough for it to be effective for sure. It's not like it's not in there at all, but I would have liked a little bit more of that creepiness to take place. And there were some scenes and some lines that felt very ominous, but it didn't feel like it went anywhere. There's one in particular that this girl who's possessed says that is making you start to think and question things, but it just doesn't really follow that up. So that was a little bit of a shame, but really other than that, this was just brilliant in so many ways. I had such a great time with it, and this is going to be a consistent watch every Halloween because it's just so fun. It's such a great film to bring a bunch of friends and just have a good time watching this. It provides the scares, it provides some humor, and it's just so friendly to watch. I really cannot recommend this enough. This has flown completely under the radar. No one has really talked about it, so I'm going to bring it to your attention. Watch Late Night with the Devil. You will not be disappointed. It is such a great film, and that is why I go to festivals. You know, it's good to see the stuff that everyone's talking about. You know, Poor Things, Anatomy of a Fall, All of Us Strangers, all of those. I really get excited to watch those, no doubt about it. But ones like this that no one is talking about, you just read the synopsis and go, that sounds mildly fascinating, I'll check it out. And then it ends up blowing you away. That's why I go to film festivals, and this was just perfect for that. Overall, what more is there to say? I have gushed about this film. I really love it. Apart from a couple minor hiccups, this is a fantastic horror film and one of the best in the genre this year. I'm going to give Late Night with the Devil a strong 4.5 out of 5. I really, really enjoyed my time with it, and I hope you do too. With that said, if you have seen this movie, let me know what you think about it in the comments below, and let me know if you're excited to see it now. I hope you are. I really hope you check this one out. Please do. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.